So I'm delighted this afternoon to be in the offices of Ranjan Bhattarcharya. Now Ranjan is chairing the panel at the Commercial Property Summit, which takes place in March 2020, taking place in Canary Wharf. Ranjan, rather than me, chat too long, get straight into the nuts and bolts. 2003, what happened for you in 2003 in terms of retail?
Retail. Well, I got started in residential property in 1990. 2003 was when I bought my first commercial unit, which was a shop. And my main reasons for getting involved in commercial was to diversify out of residential rentals, and build a more stable sort of income flow with a lot less management headache. And really, it's just gone from strength to strength because commercial properties are easier to manage. And if you know what to buy, they are very, very rentable. And with the onslaught of permitted development opportunities for repurposing commercial buildings which are no longer fit for their original purpose, they're very easy to develop.
So, look, we were talking about... I sent Ranjan a text last night saying I'm not sure I'm going to be here this morning or this afternoon because looking at weather conditions, and it's a good case study about what the difference between residential and commercial is. Do you want to just elaborate on the case study, the storm?
Yeah, of course. We had a massive storm over the weekend, and of course you come into the office and there's a whole barrage of emails and calls that have come in with this has been damaged, that's been damaged. And with the residential portfolio, you've had gutters damaged, you've had fences fall down or whatever. But there's one email came in from a commercial tenant saying that the shop sign has fallen off, basically. And they're basically saying, when are you going to send someone round to sort it out? And the property manager put in a response, very simple response, sorry to hear about the damage you sustained with the storm. Please check the details of your commercial lease. It is an FRI lease, full repairing and insuring lease, which means resolving this or fixing this is your responsibility. Kind regards, blah blah blah. And that was and that is the response to the storm damage for a commercial unit.
But it's costing landlords for residential significant amounts. I don't know what the figure is. I haven't heard today, but I'm sure it's...
Well, I mean, obviously some of it is, maybe covered by insurances and all of that, but it's still the hassle of having to sort that out.
So, look, the key question, or one of the key questions at the summit we'll be covering, is retail dead? And it's interesting listening to Ranjan's perspective of whether you think it's dead. So you're chairing the panel. I'm delighted to, I've got some people, really top-notch people coming along. I probably won't get his surname right, but Alex Schlagman, co-founder of Save the High Street. So Alex has spoken on ITV, both London, Meridian, been featured, I think, in City AM, other press, spoken at national conference level. So delighted to welcome Alex. We've got the likes of Anil Mahanal, who has been longer as a retail investor than the likes of Will Stokes have been alive now. Longer than the term co-working came out as well. So I may be wrong on that, but I think co-working is only in the last decade or two in terms of the wording, where Anil's been almost 40 years. And he looks so young, to be fair, so he must have been doing it since the age of 18. Ranjan, so the panel you're chairing, you're also going to be presenting on what's in store for retail and case studies and why there's an opportunity for property investors. Your perspective, you think, is one of the easiest ways for people to get into commercial investing.
I think, yes, and I think it represents a fantastic opportunity for small-time investors. Every now and then, of course, with commercial property, the way people do business and the type of business that is done changes. And that means that whole swathes of buildings, commercial buildings, are no longer fit for their original purpose and they need to be repurposed. So let's go back to the last time this happened. The last time this happened was during the 1980s, when the fall off in manufacturing as goods were manufactured abroad meant that there were a whole bunch of factories that were now defunct. And those were repurposed. But at that time round, it was only because factories tend to be 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 square foot. It was the larger developers who could capitalise on that opportunity. The great thing about what's happening now is we're seeing a similar change in the way business is being done. Obviously, Amazon and the like is making traditional retail a thing of the past. But the thing is, you've got big stores like the BHSs and Debenhams. I mean, really, it's very difficult to repurpose them. They need to be knocked down. But I'm thinking about the smaller stores. The smaller stores, like the betting shop industry, is going to see more than half of those shops shut down. Those are much smaller
When
units.
you see the stats on that, Ranjan, about 50%, that's quite a high figure.
Well, William Hill themselves have come out and said that more than 60% of their stores are unprofitable.
Wow.
With the new changes to the fixed odd betting terminals. So this is just coming from the industry themselves. But the opportunity that is, as opposed to the 80s, when you were talking about large factories becoming defunct, you suddenly got these small shops and uppers which are becoming defunct. The government have then stepped in behind and offered a whole bunch of permitted development rights, allowing you to repurpose those buildings without planning permission. And those buildings are typically too small for the larger developers to be interested, but nice and small and entry level for someone